Yo, what's up, guys? Real Ones here. And first off, guys, I just want to apologize. I know I've been kind of absent on the channel in the past recent weeks, and a lot of stuff came up, so I was pretty busy in the IRL. But hopefully we're going to be getting back onto the consistent grind now, guys, and getting back on the daily uploads. Again, thank you guys so much for the recent views on the recent videos. I know that YouTube messed up one of the views on one of them, which was very disappointing. Well, actually, they kind of messed up the views on both of them. So that was kind of unfortunate that happened from YouTube, but hopefully this video, the views actually are counted properly. Because it's kind of demotivating when a video that had like 50,000 views went down to like 9,000, and then a video went down to like 100 views, and I was so confused because I was still getting paid, but the views weren't there. So I learned that it's actually because of something called embedding, so no more embedding. But anyways, guys, let's get into the meat and the topic of this video. I just wanted to give an update for those of you guys that are wondering why I've been absent. But today, guys, I'm just on here to answer a question that many people have been spouting around on Twitter and other social medias, and it's that everyone, for some reason right now, is like bent on the fact that Call of Duty is dead. Everywhere I look, every page I turn on the internet, everywhere is saying Call of Duty is dead. Now, guys, let me say this. Call of Duty is one of the only games I know that has been around since 2003 and is still alive to this day, guys. Call of Duty was alive back when they were getting sued and back for when video games were being blamed for violence, and Call of Duty is still here today, guys. To put it short and sweet, this game I don't think will ever die, guys. At least from a casual perspective, I don't see Call of Duty ever falling off or dying, guys. I think Call of Duty is too big of a franchise. It's got too big of a casual audience following it. Just everybody's so linked to just the name itself, Call of Duty, that I just don't ever see a world in which Call of Duty is not still one of, and not, if not is, the biggest seller. I know a lot of people have also been concerned about the Microsoft Activision why can I not say this word? Acquisition. There we go. That's the word for it. Everyone's been concerned about the Microsoft acquisition. But I honestly think this has nothing to do with the fact that Call of Duty is supposedly quote-unquote dying. Call of Duty right now, guys, has gotten more views than it's ever gotten on Twitch. In fact, just the other day, guys, it was sitting around 100,000 views, guys. So 100,000 people were watching a Call of Duty video, let alone playing it, guys. And I know that player numbers aren't shown on Call of Duty anymore, but the estimates around there have been saying that there's around 50 million active people on Modern Warfare 2 almost every day, guys. That is not signs of a dying game, guys. That is signs of a game that is thriving and that is alive. And I know the main reason a lot of people have been blaming Call of Duty for dying is because of the fact of SBMM, guys. Sure, SBMM is a very big issue, and it's a very broad issue, and it's one that's hard to really get into touching with. But basically, SBMM is skill-based matchmaking. I've went into it in many videos, guys, and people say it's killing the casual audience. But to be honest with you guys, I think people have been so focused on the fact that it's killing it that they haven't realized that SBMM is actually protecting the casual audience. So it's protecting people that aren't as good at the game, and it's pretty much handicapping those that are. And pretty much the reason why most people have been pissed off with SBMM, and I'm being honest here, is because they get shit on as much as they do the shitting. Whereas before it was kind of a mixed bag. One game you would get shit on, one game you would be okay, one game you would get wrecked, you know? Like, it was kind of a mixed bag. It was like a free-for-all. Like, if you sucked before, you sucked, and you'd have to get better, and you'd have to get good, right? Whereas now it's kind of like, if you suck, it's just gonna put you in with even worse players, and then when you finally get a little bit better, it's gonna step you up, right? Well, some people argue it's protecting casual, some people argue it's killing sweats, you know, etc. But it's like, at the end of the day, guys, I think SBMM has its purposes, I don't think it's something that should be implemented though, because at the end of the day it seems like it's turning people off. But I think at the same time they were very smart with it, because I don't know about you guys, but when I get beaten in a game and when I have someone competing against me, I want to compete even better, you know what I mean? Like, you guys will see in this gameplay, I just dropped the assault rifle. I had enough of it. I'm pretty sure I do that shortly in this clip, and I just went off, got it like a 30 bomb with a sniper, guys. So it's like sometimes you gotta break meta to start popping off again, guys. You don't need a VPN and all this stuff, right? Which is what a majority of streamers are using, by the way. It's just VPNs and doing all this different stuff, which is why I think SBMM ultimately is bad. Because if SBMM was good, people wouldn't have to use VPNs. People wouldn't be doing all these other sketchy stuff just to keep up, right? Using Cronuses, all this type of stuff, right, guys? Well, Cronus, I don't think is the main issue, though, to be honest with you. The main issue is wall hacks. The main issue is aimbot, stuff like that. A Cronus really just mods the controller and kind of just slightly amplifies the aim assist, but it is very broken on the no recoil side, I will say that. So it's very obvious, guys, if you see a streamer, someone that's shooting and their gun is not moving, use that same gun, same attachment, do the same thing and see how much the recoil varies. If it varies a lot, then you either suck at controlling recoil or they're using a Cronus. It's one or the other. But basically, at the end of the day, guys, I don't think SBMM is the main issue here. I think the main issue, honestly, is that the Call of Duty community as a whole has just gotten very negative over the course of the year. But honestly, it's kind of justified. Call of Duty Vanguard was one of the worst Call of Duty games I have ever played, and it was just two very bad Call of Duty games back to back, and it honestly turned me off of Call of Duty, and it turned a lot of people off of Call of Duty as well. And it just basically, it almost killed it for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Vanguard had some good things, like they had, oh yeah, by the way, guys, here's where I pop off with a sniper for like the rest of the game. I hope you enjoy that. But Vanguard, guys, it honestly, it had good things. Like, it had a perk that lets you see the mini-map 24/7 if someone's shooting. It had dead silence as a perk. It did a lot of things good. And that's why, honestly, as much as I didn't like the game that much, it honestly pains me to say that the community is honestly shooting itself in the foot. Why would Infinity Ward put in dead silence and all this stuff if Vanguard had the lowest player retention? Vanguard got the lowest sales, right? And it used dead silence, it used radar, it used all these things that people like, right? But that game performed the worst. So in Activision's mind, guys, why are they going to bring this back? Because ultimately Activision's who gives the final say, no matter what people say. But ultimately, if this Call of Duty game failed so hard, and then they see Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, right, where it had none of these things, and that game is like immensely successful, which is usually based off the name alone. But either way, they see that and they're like, man, this game didn't have dead silence as a perk, this game didn't have this game didn't have that, right? And they're like, this game popped off. You know what I mean? So in their eyes, they're saying that Modern Warfare made them more money without those perks than Vanguard did with them. So honestly, it's like beating a dead horse here. We're not going to win that argument with Infinity Ward. Maybe Treyarch will bring it back, right? Because by the time Treyarch's next game is out, Microsoft and Xbox will officially own Activision Blizzard King as a whole. But until then, guys, I don't see it changing. And honestly, SBMM is probably the worst enemy of gamers right now, though, because it's ruined Battlefield and it's pretty much ruined Halo Infinite as well. It kind of ruins the whole social-based interactions that you get with games, right? And I think that's a feeling that a lot of people are saying that Call of Duty is dead. I feel like this is what they're feeling essentially. They're missing that social aspect. They're missing the fact where if you got crapped on in a game and somebody absolutely destroyed you, you only have that game to prove it nowadays. You can't keep fighting the same person, whereas before you'd stay in a lobby with that same person. So you would be able to prove yourself and be like, bam, I got him this time while they got me last round, right? And people used to add each other like crazy because you'd stay in the same lobby, you'd talk with each other, interact with each other, right? Nowadays, it's like SBMM is like, okay, you did too good, you're out. It doesn't matter if you like made some friends in that lobby. It doesn't matter if you made some enemies in that lobby, right? Either way, you're just kicked out of that lobby right away. So I feel like just the social aspect of Call of Duty is what people are like addicted to the most, honestly. We can see this with proximity chat and DMZ and Warzone. People love that. People love that because it makes you interact with the other team and interact with these people, right? So ultimately, guys, I don't think Call of Duty is dead. I still don't think it ever will die. And honestly, you can see in this clip, I had the time of my life just using this sniper, guys, and I honestly forgot about SBMM for a second here with how much I was popping off with this thing. But honestly, guys, I just think at the end of the day, Call of Duty will always be a fun game. It'll always be an amazing experience. I think many older folks are gonna kind of get drawn away from it, but everybody's going crazy saying Fortnite's new update is insane, which I'll do a new video on that tomorrow or the next day. And people are freaking out just because they added an extra few lights and made the trees look a little better. But ultimately, just making some trees look a little better isn't enough to kill a franchise that makes multiple $1 billion every year, which is more money than anybody needs in their whole lifetime. But this game is making it, guys. So at the end of the day, if Call of Duty Infinite Warfare didn't kill Call of Duty, if Call of Duty Vanguard didn't kill Call of Duty, and ultimately Infinite Warfare came out when Battlefield 1 was out, then nothing's going to kill this game. That's just the truth. And if you do want to know about a dying franchise, then let's talk about Battlefield 2042 in another video as well, guys. Because honestly, that is the one franchise where I can honestly say I think it is dying. I do not see Battlefield 2042 recovering, but we'll have to see what happens, guys. Anyways, take care. Peace.